Electric cars are fast, ludicrously fast in some cases. That's not really a headline, we all know that. But cars like this, the Porsche Taycan, they're fast in a straight line. That's the wow factor of electric cars, how quickly they'll launch 0 to 100. But that's not really all performance cars are about. For a car to be a truly engaging car, it's got to make you feel alive as a driver. And that's where this comes in. This is the all-new, first of its kind, Taycan GTS. Now GTS, they're 3 letters that Porsche reserves for its drivers' cars, the cars for enthusiasts who may not want the fastest, but they want something that really makes them feel alive when they're on a twisty road out on a racetrack. That is a big obstacle for an electric car to overcome, because until now, no one has really built a car like that. Fast in a straight line. How can it make you feel alive as a driver in the corners? Well, that's why we've come here to Norwell Motorplex on the Gold Coast to really put this thing through its paces. So we're out here at the Norwell Motorplex outside the Gold Coast to really put this Taycan GTS through its paces on a track to see just how well it can really handle. Can it excite us in the same way an internal combustion engine Porsche can? Now that's a big ask, obviously. Porsches are renowned for their performance, and there's obviously a few hurdles that the Taycan inherently has. For starters, all those batteries mean a lot of weight, and weight is the enemy of performance at the end of the day. The suspension tune on the GTS has been done specifically to try and generate that more dynamic handling that makes it, I guess, a more fun and engaging car to drive. It certainly turns in really sharply, just like you'd expect a Porsche to. As soon as you get to that corner, you can really guide it to the apex with precision. But of course, you also do feel that weight on these long sweeping corners. You are really fighting against all that mass. Whilst it's a very quiet car, as you may hear, there is this synthesized noise that Porsche has plumbed into the cabin, which actually comes from the 919 sports car program. The drivers wanted a noise for the simulator that could help them understand when the electric motor was working, and this sound is what they came up with. So that's a really cool little motorsport Easter egg that's hidden in the Taycan. The bigger issue with the sound, more than just the excitement factor, is the role that sound plays in driving quickly. When you're really, pushing hard in a car, it's that engine that gives you a real sense of the speed that you're doing. So corners can sneak up on you in these electric cars because they're so quick. But by building in this sound, it may seem like a gimmick at first, but it really does play an important role in maximizing your performance on the track and how you can, really engage with this car. So it's an interesting thing that in some ways Porsche's managed to turn what should be a con back into a pro with some clever thinking. At the end of the day though, it is actually a really impressive car on the track. Look, aside from the weight, it's still got that classic Porsche performance, that DNA that makes it feel like a Porsche. It stops good, it turns good. I mean, the stopping is actually quite interesting because it's using a lot of regenerative braking, but it doesn't feel it in the pedals, and that's a big, big plus, because a lot of electric cars, when you're using those regen brakes and recovering energy for the battery, you're actually, it gives that real artificial feeling to the pedal because you're not really using the pads and the rotors, where in this, even though you are still recovering the energy rather than using the rotors, it feels much more natural. It feels much more like a conventional car, and that is a huge difference in the way you can, set yourself up for these corners. You can brake deep and you can feel more of a connection to the car. So at the end of the day, I think it's fair to say Porsche succeeded. This is a genuinely fun and engaging car to drive. It's not just quick in a straight line. Sure, it can do that stuff, but that's not really what we're trying to find. The reality is, this feels as much like a Porsche as any other, regardless of what's powering the wheels.